welcome again to some 0K action. It's going to be a 1 vs 1 on the Alien Desert map, and it should be an interesting little game indeed. Should I just turn this off? Whoops. Oh, that's right. That stays on until we actually start. Alright, well, let's just skip the pre-game chatter then. Yeah, okay, there we go, just got that. Let's see, well, they're pretty clearly marked on the map, so yeah, fuck it. I normally have them on when I'm actually playing, but let's just turn them off so that I suppose the game looks slightly more pretty, I guess. In any case, I've got myself Lightman playing as heavy tanks, and I'll be going with the basic striker, which is just the E-Cell commander. My opponent, 80s Kung Fu Cop. Okay, he's just got a basic econ/support commander, and he's going with heavy tanks as well. So he's actually going to be going with Panthers right off the bat, really. And as for myself, I'm actually going with the hell is it? Oh, okay, with Kodachis off the bat, it seems. So we'll see how this works out. Actually, Panther will take a bit longer to build up. God, that's getting a bit annoying, but anyway, yeah, Panther will will take a bit more time to get built up, but it has been built and it is out and about. Probably going to cause loads of damage for myself. We'll see what happens. Just having a look at. Okay, yeah, so of course, no overdrive just yet. Probably could have a little bit more energy. In fact, because he's not going for an E-Cell commander, all the energy he's got is going to be from these solar collectors. And as for myself, I don't yet have any other energy just yet, but the commander should be alright for the time being. I'm pretty sure once my welder comes out, I'll be able to. Well, I think I'll be building the. There we go. Yeah, I'll be building some. Hopefully, I'll be building some windmills or solar plants of my own. We'll see what happens. In any case, yeah, continue to expand. Just having a look at the income. So 80's Kung Fu Cop does actually have slightly more metal than me. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm going to try to do a bit of damage to my Kodachi, and he might actually, if I can just get a single shot at the metal extractor, that'd be more than enough. Okay, that's getting annoying. There we go. Because it gets the last shot off, and that will be enough to take out the metal extractor. Bam. Although he is trying to repair it, and it still goes down. Outstanding. So there we go. It's going to bring him back down to 10, now to 9. I've got 11. I've got a slight energy advantage as well. The Panther seems to have abandoned his attack on my main base, and now he's trying to go for one of my expansions, but he's going to have a bit of a hard time versus the Defender and the Commander and the Kodachi coming in as well. I will just see what I'm going to be doing to reply to this. For some reason, 80's Kung Fu Cop is also floating metal. Not really sure why. But yeah, there we go. Fine. He's going to start building Panthers. My god, it's so fucking original. Thank god the Panther was okay. Anyway, thank god the Panther was actually nerfed in a recent patch. Those things are just bloody ridiculous. But yeah, now they're a bit more reasonable to actually counter. They're still pretty good as what are these things officially called? So they're the Lightning Assault Raider tanks. So I suppose yeah, they're pretty good for raiding and not too shabby for assaulting. They can get countered basically either with units that outrange them, or bizarrely enough, if you've actually got swarms of units, then yeah, you can actually do alright versus the Panthers as well. As long as you can get Panthers to bunch up, basically, then you're alright once you take out one of them, because they once they explode, they actually paralyze nearby Panthers. So yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, actually, yeah, because they emit like a little EMP blast which paralyzes nearby Panthers as well. But these guys, no, Kung Fu Cop is actually having them separate, and yeah, my Kodachis are going to fall prey to them, unfortunately. The Welder is still going to survive. Those things are pretty fucking tough, to say the least, and I believe this other Kodachi is probably going to get taken out as well. Apparently they can actually take one shots before getting taken out, which I suppose is better than nothing. What I should have done instead was I should have ignored the Welder and just gone instead for the metal extractors. It's just that I'm not really too used to fighting versus heavy tanks, I suppose, and well, as you can see, the Welder definitely could take a pounding, and it's even well, it's even armed as well with like a little mini laser apparently. So yeah, I should have just instead gone for mexes in the vicinity rather than just concentrating on the Welder, because well, didn't take out anything as a result. So whoopsie long. So what else do I have coming out? More Kodachis and Panthers. So I'll be slightly more maneuverable than 80's Kung Fu Cop, but his Panthers are going to be a massive pain in the ass to deal with, and he's got better radar coverage as well. I think he's even spotting my... Actually no, the Kodachi's actually blind. Not blind, rather, he's actually in the blind spots of the radar tower. Who to think? Just having a look what he's still doing. He's still spamming Panthers. As myself, I'm going with a bit more of a mixture, so I'll be a bit more mobile, but 80's Kung Fu Cop will have slightly harder hitting units. We'll see how that works out. I'm building defenders next to every metal extractor, but the thing is they're not really that great versus more armoured units like Panthers. They can only really take a couple of really light radar units on their own, and that's about it really. But I suppose some light defences is better than nothing. And there we go, fine, the Panther's going to be coming in, so yeah, there's actually spots my Kodachi. Actually that radar tower there spots him as well, and there we go. Bizarre enough, I'm actually still managing to raid these mechs. So all it takes is just one single shot, as you can see. Yeah, this Kodachi, he will get taken out, unfortunately. I'm not sure if you actually spotted the radar tower or not either, but there we go, another Kodachi taking out another mechs. Sounds good to me. Just having a look at energy and metal and all that. I'm actually floating metal myself, and my energy income is, well, energy and metal in general is a little bit lower than my opponent's, not much lower. I might be able to make a bit of a difference with these raids. We'll see what happens. I don't know. What I know is that this basic striker actually is not going to have too much in terms of armaments to deal versus these Panthers, but A's Kung Fu Cop does actually decide to retreat anyway, so despite the fact that I'm pretty sure the striker probably wouldn't have been able to deal with both Panthers at once, although they were weakened, I suppose. So nice little repair station set up for them, I suppose. And they're continuing to raid as well. I've just got basic defences set up, really. Nothing really too fancy there at all. And there we go, finally I've got a bit of an economic edge over my opponents. Hell of a power edge actually as well. As you can see, there we go, soldiering on with my wind gens, and yeah, I'm just going to continue making them all the way back through the map basically. And I believe the enemy's his radar, yeah, will not be able to spot that at all. Actually, I've got my radar set up as well, design enough, as well as an LT, just to see what's happening. And my own welder, what the hell was I thinking wandering in like that? I must have seen the radar tower before when I was raiding, and I still sent my welder in on his own. But in any case, it doesn't really matter too much, because they're going to ignore him, and instead they're going to go for my Kodachis, which are raiding these mexes. In fact, these Kodachis should actually get the hell out of there and raid these other mexes, instead of trying to go after the solar collectors, which was presumably what they were trying to do actually. So yeah, my raiding could be a bit better, but at the same time I am managing to take out my opponent's infrastructure not quite as effectively as I should be, but oh well, better than nothing. Now, I'm actually going to just continue building this. No, actually I'm going to be going with a couple of other things. So we've got the Banisher with his heavy missile. Okay, so that's not too shabby. What about the Panther? What the hell is actually meant to officially counter that? Okay, well, doesn't really tell me what counters it, but it does have a very short range, as you can see, and when it blows up, it doesn't actually say it for some reason in the description, but when it blows up, it yeah, it also deals like an EMP blast out as well. So if these guys are clumps like this, as you can see, one of them getting blown up will actually knock out all the other ones temporarily, so not too shabby indeed. So yeah, they're still pretty effective little tanks. It's a bit tricky, I suppose, to balance them, just because they're kind of unique. I mean, their armor is decent, their speed is decent, they can paralyze, and their damage isn't too bad either, really. Especially their paralyzed damage. So, oh well, whatever. Down goes another mech, it seems. Unfortunately, this one's going to be slightly better defended. I might be able to aim in between these solars, and actually, I think I'm going to be doing that by the looks of it. Nope, never mind, I'm not going to hit it at all, and he's actually going to get stunned and destroyed by these Panthers. The single Panther, should I say. Whoops. Now, what can you do? My own Panther's finally coming in, and there we go, here comes the heavy right support tank, which I believe is actually a decent enough counter against Panthers, as long as you kite them as much as possible. It's not quite as fast as them, but if you can keep shooting the Panthers and keep retreating from them while they try to advance on you, then yeah, you can usually do pretty good. Well, I hope that's actually what's meant to counter them. In any case, my Kodachi does get in, so might have been this one actually, 100% sure. But yeah, it does get in, takes out a few more mexes, and yeah, our Kung Fu Cop is definitely operating at a bit of a deficit compared to me for energy. I'm just having a look though. Oh, of course, I forgot that wind bloody varies quite a bit actually. Yes, a bloody variance. Oh well, what can you do? And there we go, finally got the Banisher coming in. I don't think he actually kites the Panthers by default. Let's just have a look. Maybe he does. Huh. 100% sure on that, but in any case they're going to take quite a bit of damage. Actually, I'm getting a little bit overzealous of my own units. I should be sending them... Well, I should be basically trying to get the Banisher in range to do damage against the Panthers and having these other units basically close by in case the Panthers get a bit too close for comfort against the Banisher. But there you go. You guys, yeah, more mexes for me. Sounds good. More lotuses being built up just to defend a bit, I suppose. And well, there you go. My opponent is actually making a tech switch to Cloaky Bots. Very interesting choice, and he's actually going with masses of warriors. A very interesting choice indeed. Okay, well, we'll see how that works out for him, I guess. Not really sure. I mean, they are riot bots, so technically they should be able to take care of raiders of all sorts, but the Panther might be a little bit too heavy to take out, I don't know. In any case, his welders will definitely not be able to expand, and as you can see, I've got a nice little concave of my opponent boxing him in. Unfortunately, he does see everything that's going on with his radar tower in this vicinity, and I suppose that one also being a pain in the ass, but well. And there we go, there goes my sight in the top left quadrant of the map. So let's see. So a couple of Panthers get taken out, not really stunning too much though. But the Warriors, no, they do actually manage to hold their own, so not too shabby. Although I think with my Banishers coming in, yeah, the Warriors, because of their short range, won't be able to do too much against them. Unfortunately, the Banishers are going to get in range of the Panthers, and they are going to get stun locked, it seems. And the Panthers are probably going to raid the shit out of me, it seems. But, oh well. What can he do? What am I going to do to reply to this? Don't you know? Actually, oh, it's interesting. Kung Fu Cop actually has left a couple of Panthers back here just to help defend. He probably doesn't really need these Panthers back here because he's got radar instead. In fact, I'm actually surprised with this tech shift that he's gone with, or yeah, tech swap, whatever you want to call it. I'm actually surprised that he didn't go for Scythes to go for a hidden attack instead. Well, in any case, his Panthers are going to come in handy against my own Panther that was being sent out. And Kung Fu Cop should be a bit more aggressive, actually. I think he's just waiting for his warriors to come in. Unfortunately, Cloakies are a little bit slow. In fact, on this sort of map, they're not exactly great in terms of mobility. But oh well, I do finally have my own artillery piece, which is going to shell the shit out of the opponents as much as possible. Commander probably should be setting up a few more defences along this line, but oh well. What can you do? See how well these Banishers actually work. I have to watch out. I should actually start retreating them basically as soon well, before they even get into range of being able to deal with the Panthers, so they can kite them even. What the hell is this thing doing? Anyway, so they can kite the Panthers that much more effectively. But in any case, bam. They're going to get taken out. Nonetheless, these Banishers are simply incredible. Bam. So basically taking out his raider force without too much fuss. And of course these Banishers do have their own counters, of course. I mean, their range... Actually, their range is not too bad, but they can still be... No, that's right, against skirmishers. Well, that's the thing though. It's because it fires so infrequently, they're actually not that great against... really small raiders, like really small, cheap raiders like glaives and such, provided that you actually try to space out your raiders as much as possible, because as you can see they actually do quite a bit of area of effect damage. Well, it doesn't actually say it, I did see them doing area of effect damage, for fuck's sake. So there you go. So there we go, just going on attack move it seems, with my artillery, just going to be shelling them, finally taking out their radar. These guys need to retreat. Just having a look, nope, that they don't seem to kite these tanks on their own, or that actually that might be because I'm not using the fight move now that I think of it. Whoops. Or the attack move for that matter. But in either case, the Panthers are going to get taken out relatively easily actually. In fact, they were engaging my Banishers at close range, and yet they couldn't really do much against them. One of them surviving, one of the Panthers barely not surviving actually. So yeah, very strange little tech switch actually. I'm not really sure why he went for warriors. I mean, he should have known that Banishers would do a great job actually outranging them. And ouch, that pillager being a little bit too close for comfort as well. Actually does crap loads of damage. Jesus. And at point blank range, well close to point blank range for it anyway, it's well actually it isn't too bad at hitting vehicles on the move. Not too shabby. I do have my own Panther coming in to take it out, but yeah, my opponent has quit. An interesting game indeed. Panthers of War, it seems. Oh, indeed, amount of damage I did there. Especially with those Kodachis actually just going around killing off mixers. Very nicely done, if I do say so myself. So there you go, I'll see you all next time. Welcome again to some 0k action. It's going to be a 1 vs 1 game on the Comet Catcher Redux map, and yeah, we're going to have myself, Lightman, playing versus Pro Randy. And as you can see with the elo differences, you can probably guess who's going to win. But still, I'm going to give things a shot. These are all the mix spots, so quite a few of them. Pretty big map actually. Comet Catcher Redux definitely suits vehicle and aircraft play for team games, and well, given the amount of metal spots there are, it can get pretty ridiculous actually, amount of income you can get. But in any case, I'm going to be going for heavy tanks, so getting a couple of Kodachis, and my opponent, Pro Randy, is going for light vehicle factory. He did get one dart, presumably just to scout. He might be able to do a bit of raiding, but probably not. I've got my Lotus coming down pretty early on, so should be able to defend just fine and dandy. I suppose technically the heavy tank factory could get attacked without the Lotus being able to defend that, but really I don't think it's much to worry about. In fact, my Kodachi... Nope, he's actually... where is he going? Okay, so... never mind, Kodachi won't be able to take him out, but in any case his start won't be able to do too much. Down he goes. Where he'll end up, nobody knows. As for my opponent... hasn't gone for any early defense just yet. He's just got a radar tower, but no LLTs or anything like that just yet. Just having a look, what has he morphed his commander to? So he's got E-Cell, and that's it. And as for myself, I've just got E-Cell as well, and going for radar tower on slightly elevated terrain as well. Maybe it might be a bit easy to actually take it out there, but oh well, whatever. We'll see what happens actually. See what happens. Heavy tanks versus light vehicles. It's an interesting matchup, especially when you see Panthers being built by the heavy tank player, because they are still a bit of a pain in the ass to deal with, even with the recent balance changes to them. But there you go. Just having a look actually, it doesn't seem that Pro Randy, well, he's got more metal and energy than me, but he's actually stalling on metal. But holy shit, he's actually got double the amount of metal. Where the hell is my builder unit? Okay, well there's my welder. Of course. Damn. Where the hell are the other mech spots? Yeah, I should have just been expanding as quickly as possible with the commander as well. Okay, a bit of a stuff up on my behalf there. So maybe it would have been a better idea on this sort of map to go with light vehicles, because the Mason, as you can see, wait, what is it? 140 metal versus 250 metal for the welder. Definitely going to be coming out a bit earlier on. But at the same time, Pro Randy, I don't know, it didn't feel like his... I suppose his commander must have been moving around a bit faster than mine was. Interesting. What kind of commander does he have? Support. Okay. Huh. Okay. Yeah, whatever. Well, at least one of my Kodachis manages to make its way in, and might just be able to take out the other metal extractor. Nope. What the hell am I doing with them? They're in such a good position to do so much damage. Go. Oh my god, what the fuck am I doing? Well. Well, I might be able to take out this mech, but I definitely could have raided a bit more effectively. Pro Randy, his metal is off the freaking charts compared to mine. His energy is also a bit better. He's going with solar collectors rather than wind gens, and as for myself, I'm going for solar collectors as well, and I'm going for wind gens, of course. Yeah, sorry, for wind gens. Oh, I have to watch out for that Scorcher there. That's being a bit of a pain in the ass. I should have Kodachis coming in. So, holy crap! I basically needed to expand much more quickly throughout this game. I'm doing a bit of damage with raiding, but wow, this Pro Randy. How many? Okay, so he's got 2 builders. One of them just to support his factory down on expanding. Yeah, he definitely expanded a hell of a lot more quickly than I did, and that's probably going to basically hand in the game. Look, looking at my pitiful expansion that I got here, it's not looking good, to say the least. I should try to raid as much as possible with these Kodachis. There are definitely a few opportunities to raid here and there. But no, instead I'm just trying to take out this other raider instead, doing counter-raiding operations. I'm not sure what I was doing with that Kodachi. I should have actually kept him going, but well. In fact, what I should have done is, because their weapons fire so slowly, I should have had him fire his little napalm bomb thing and then retreat and then fire it and so on and so forth. It requires a little bit more micro, but well, given the fact that all Randy was doing was just retreating it, well, it would have done more damage to him. Well, some damage to him without being destroyed in return, so. Oh well, so what do we have coming out now? Banishers rather than Panthers. An interesting choice. Especially since Scorchers are hard countered by Panthers, and Panthers can move around a hell of a lot more quickly. In any case, yeah, my opponent is, well, basically almost double the economy of mine, so he's continuing to expand as quickly as possible. He's got multiple builders. Okay, oh, and he's working off of Reclaim. I don't think I did any Reclaim at all, actually. I don't think I had really much Reclaim at all, but it still would have been better than nothing. Ah well, what can you do? Well, let's see how I can do with... okay, there we go, so these little Kodachi drive-bys. Hopefully the next one will go after the metal extractor. No, why the hell didn't I delay it a bit further? I've got no idea. Well, this one hopefully will take out this mix, maybe. There we go, even though I think it actually did. Yeah, it's doing friendly fire damage of its own. Whoops, silk. Oh, there we go, actually I'm doing a bit of raiding at the very least, so... not too shabby. This... oh my god. My micro this game apparently wants to have been pretty god-awful, because this Kodachi should be moving, he should not just be standing still. There's way more mixes that he could be raiding. And now the opportunity is going to be lost. Man, that really sucks. Yeah, well, still continuing to expand myself, getting another builder out, presumably, yeah, just to build a couple of caretakers to help. This one continuing to build wind generators, which is interesting given that this map looks pretty airless actually, so there's still winds coming in somewhere. This guy, there we go, finally going to be expanding. And this thing, yeah, we're going to be covering this right flank of the map, so, well, at least I'll be able to spot raiders coming, I suppose. Ravagers is probably going to ravage my defences entirely, and in fact it looks like that Pro Randy is basically switching entirely to Ravagers, and he's queued up a hell of a lot of them for some reason. Not using repeat order for some reason, but anyway, yeah, just going to go over assault tanks, and he definitely does have the economy to back that up, really. Normally spamming a single unit type is not a good idea, and it still isn't actually, even in Randy's case, but really, he can... what is... wow, these things are really getting built very quickly, god damn. So, how long does it take? Yeah, less than 10 seconds to build, yeah. Yep, they're basically going to steamroll me, and with Scorchers coming in from the bottom right flank, I don't really have much to defend against this. In fact, I don't really have anything to defend against it except a couple of Kodachis which are being built, and that's not going to do too much. I do have Banishers, but I'm not really sure what the hell they are. I'm pretty sure I did queue them up at some point, but they're not on the battlefield for whatever reason, so I'm not really sure what the hell's going on there. Just don't you know, actually these clumps of units will be pretty good for my flame tanks to try to do a bit of damage, so yeah, what I should have done, yeah, I definitely should have retreated them once they took the initial shot. Yeah, as you can see, I still got a bit to learn when it comes to using heavy tanks. I mean, I didn't do such a bad job of them last time around, but yeah, keeping these Kodachis in range when they should be coming in, dropping their little napalm bomb, then getting out, yeah, I mean, that napalm bomb, its reload time is 13... oh no, that's actually damage per second, whoops. 6 seconds, and these guys reload at 2 seconds, of course, and yep, there we go, I've quit, so... of course I got grilled chef. Not bad, interesting game nonetheless, so I'll see you all at a later stage.